This MMA content is proudly brought to you by the AllStar app, a fully customizable ad-free sports experience. Download it now.
April 17th, this weekend, Rizin 35, you're back in action. Ashida, was he a fighter that was on your radar that you would think you would face in the future?
Uh, no, I didn't know he entered the Rizin circuit until he fought Kanehara. But when I saw that he fought Kanehara, that's kind of when I knew that I might be fighting him next. Only because I know we're both coming off losses, so I was thinking it was going to be him.
All right, so Ashida, he's a former deep champion, so he has some credentials. He has some big wins in the past. What is your breakdown of him and the style that he brings?
Man, he's a striker for sure. He comes with over from a wrestling gym with Miyata, so Brave's known for their wrestling, but I know that he's their like boxing coach or he's their striker over there, and he's down to scrap, man. He comes forward, super aggressive, former deep champ, so he has good credentials. So I'm super excited just to compete against him. We're both coming off losses. We're both hungry. We both want that W. So I know going into this fight, we're gonna give it all we got.
Yeah, I see the difference that I see between you and him and the level of competition is that your last three fights were against probably the best featherweights in Japan, back to back to back. What did you take away from those fights, and what did you learn the most?
Man, my biggest takeaway from those is I know one fight was pretty last minute. The other two was just not pulling the trigger to soon enough, So I think I held back a little more so and saved a bit too much energy on the past three fights. So coming into this one, I just a whole different mindset and coming at it and trying to bring the cowboy out of me instead of trying to be that technical guy all the time. There's a time for that. There's a time to do it, and there's a time to just come out and just start swinging. Bite the mouthpiece down and take chances. I was known just for point fighting. Just trying to win the round, and I really got to start trying to get my finishes in there.
Yeah, definitely. Most people, they don't understand the mental side of the fight game. You know what I mean? Wins, losses, streaks. Where are you exactly mentally heading into this fight?
Man, mentally I feel good, man. The camp went well. I left no stones unturned, man. Nutrition was good, personal training was good, the mind was on right. Was able to balance everything pretty good. So just coming into this fight, I'm 100% confident that I'm gonna go there and put on a show, man, and get this W.
Since your last fight in December, did you just continue training, thinking that I'm gonna get on the next Rising card, and that was the focus for you?
Yeah, so man, after every fight, I don't stop training. Maybe take a week off, and I'm always right back at the gym. I never pass. My weight's always on point. Never passing like 160. Always under like 20 to 15 pounds. A little overweight, and I'm staying around that area. So always constantly training, and just whenever I get the call, then I'll take that fight. But yeah, for sure, I always wanted to come back here to Rizin and compete again, man. It's a great organization. Production is amazing. The fans are amazing. The people that's there are amazing. So I was hoping that they would give me the call, and then when the wife told me that I got a fight on the 17th, so I said, hell yeah, let's do it.
And you say you always keep your weight on point. There's no like piece of you where it's just like, man, I just want to be a fat ass for a month.
No, man, just because I'm training all the time, so I pick out here and there. I have my days where I'll add in some burgers or some, drink some beers or just hanging out. But throughout the week, I'm pretty consistent on my diet and watching my weight. I check my weight every day just so I can have like some type of benchmark and see where I'm at. If I'm hitting 160, then I'm like, hey, whoa, let's tone it down a bit. Let's cut that back down to 155 and trying to stay within that range.
Did you do most of your or all of your camp in Guam?
Yeah, my camp was on Guam. It was good. It was mainly at Spike 22.
Okay.
Got a bunch of good training partners for this camp. So I'm feeling really good right now.
For sure. And I don't know if it was the last time that we spoke,
Mm-hmm.
but you've been to Japan a few times since the pandemic.
Yeah.
You're like one of the only ones that have actually went there and competed. Is it different? Is it different this time around, like the quarantines and all that?
Yeah, the quarantine. I'm actually just done. I just finished my quarantine. So there was prior to coming here this time, it was like 3-day hotel government quarantine. Now it's just home quarantine. So it's not so bad, man. It's of course you don't want to be quarantined. The training's gonna suck if you have to stay home all the time. But I tested today just to get out of quarantine, so I'm negative. So that's a good thing already. It's a blessing already. So I'm able to compete as of right now, just because of my negative result. But the quarantine isn't so bad. I've done a 14-day quarantine at a hotel in Guam, so that was rough. So anything under 14 days is always better than that, So always expecting for the worst just because I had 14 days. But when they said 3, I'm like, oh, that's easy. I've done 14 days.
Yeah, it's nothing. Now, going back to Ashida, man, he's competed for Rizin twice. He got the finish against Kanahare in his last fight, but before that, he was submitted. What do you remember the most about those performances?
And that he comes forward. He's a striker. He has his pressure is good. But then I did see some holes in his game that I want to expose, and I can't wait to go in there and just do that and actually do it in the ring. There's a lot of talk about like knowing how to do it, but applying the knowledge is what's gonna happen, and that's what's gonna make me come out the victorious.
A lot of fighters, their dream is to fight in Japan, in Saitama, for Rizin, back in the day for Pride. You've done it so many times. Is it just normal for you now when you see other guys coming for the first time?
No, man. Every time I'm going into Rizin, bro, the experience is just like there's no other feeling like it, dude. I can train so much, but then the moment I'm on there and the fireworks go up, it's crazy. Goosebumps everywhere. I feel like crying and laughing at the same time. It's just that experience it's hard to explain, man. And the crowd, the energy, it's awesome, dude. So it's not like a normal day for me. When I'm in the ring, it's a normal day as in regards to like scrapping, but everything beforehand, it's there's a bunch of mixed emotions going on in there.
Yeah, I could only imagine, you know what I mean? Because especially in Saitama, it's so big. You look so small walking down that little platform, right? If you're sitting up there on the nosebleeds.
Yeah, for sure. Even cornering for me, even that just gets me hyped up. I'm not even fighting, but I feel like I'm way more nervous than for my fights.
How do you see yourself defeating Ashida? What kind of performance do you want to have in front of that Rizin crowd?
Man, I want to be entertaining, man. I want to go out there. I don't want to be boring. I want to go out there, put on a show, and get that W. So I'm just hoping just to put the pressure on him and come out with the W. Looking for finishes, no matter if it's on the feet or it's on the ground. I feel that I'm better than him technically everywhere. I know he's a striker, but I feel that I have a lot more skills than he does in regards to that. He's fought a bunch of good people. He's a former champ too as well, but I feel that I have more technique than he does.
For yourself, you've had a bunch of fights. What point are you in your career? Are you still chasing the title? Are you just want to have fun fights? What point are you at right now?
Man, I'm in it to fight the best, man. I do this every day. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. I'm turning 33 in a couple of days, so it'll be awesome to get this W, But I do want to get if I win this fight, there's a possibility I get into the tournament and I can possibly get a rematch with with Clever again or Vugar. So I'm hoping to get this W and just keep continuing to grow, man. I'm taking it one step at a time. Before I think about that title, I gotta try and beat Takahiro first. So I think a big part of me before was always like, let's beat this guy to get this. But right now I'm just gonna focus on what's the task at hand, and once I get over that, then we can start talking about what's the next steps. So hopefully the game planning and the training camp, everything comes to play, and I'm able to show that in the ring, so that if I get this W, then I can move forward into whatever's next. Then we can start planning.
I can see that happening. The winner of this gets a slot in the tournament Grand Prix. Those Grand Prix are always fun to watch. This weekend, man, you're back in action. Kyle, appreciate the time, man, and all the best for the rest of the week and in the fight.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Thank you, man. Thank you, brother.